Alright, I'm back. So, we are going to finish up the episode with looking at the bios of the rest of the characters, and then looking through this little stuff that I have, and then continue upgrading my skills until I am ready. And then I end the episode like that. Because next episode, it looks like we're about to get really close to finishing the story. Because it says last time you can upgrade your stuff, and I hadn't even upgraded anything since the first time I did, which was many episodes ago. Here we go. Bio on Jefferson Davis. Strange to work with a police officer and have him treat me like an equal, not a nuisance to be brushed away. Officer Davis is the sort of man I hope I would have become. If I hadn't got my powers, honest, dedicated, moral, his family's lucky to have him. Powers and abilities: a skilled fighter with extensive firearm training, veteran of the police force. His knowledge of organized crime, Wilson Fisk in particular, is extensive. Whoa, dang. Alright, so, bio on Shocker. Herman Schultz, aka Shocker, was one of my first super adversaries, also the cause of my first celebratory headline story in the Daily Bugle. I was used to guys with guns or knives or even water balloons filled with hot sauce. Water balloons filled with hot sauce! Dang, who does that? Okay, Shocker could actually hold his own. If I had known ahead of time, I probably would have found a less destructive way to take him down. But nobody got hurt, and they were planning on remodeling the Flandrium building anyway. Ever since, I've been more careful to back it off if I thought fighting would put civilians at risk. I can always catch them later when I got the upper hand. Powers and abilities: a gifted autodidact. Uses vibro-shock units of his own design to create high-pressure air blasts. Wow. Norman Osborn. Okay, bio. Norman Osborn, my best friend's dad, the founder of the world's biggest tech company, and now the mayor of New York. It's hard not to admire the guy, or it would have been hard if he wasn't arrogant, condescending, and generally dishonest. I know, you gotta be careful on who you pick for your politicians, because then you get really nasty results. We've seen what happened. We see what happened. I mean, come on. We've already been shown a perfect example of that a couple of years back in 2016 during the elections and that. And I think, you know, with the Texas elections about just not so long, like last year. Yeah, also, same thing, look what happened. We got people are not careful. I think it all boils down to people aren't careful. Still, I can't bring myself to ever hate Harry's dad. Nobody who raised Harry could ever be bad at all. Powers and abilities: vast wealth and unmatched political gamesmanship. Alrighty. Martin Lee. Martin Lee is the new definition of American success story. After being orphaned at only 7 years old, he grew up in foster care in Manhattan. Then at age 18, he went to China and made a fortune in the shipping industry. When he came back to New York 9 years later, he was already a billionaire. But rather than living off his fortune, he set up charities across the city. He's now dedicating his life to making sure that nobody in the city is forgotten or abandoned. It's no wonder Aunt May wants to work with him. Powers and abilities: inspiring philanthropic leadership. Dang. Aunt May! May Parker. If I could pick one person in the world I want to emulate, it would be Aunt May. She's the strongest and most selfless person I know. I just wish she'd think of herself a little now and then. May started volunteering at feasts shortly after Uncle Ben's death as a way to find some light in the darkness. She said it was temporary, but we all knew this was more than just a part-time gig for her. Flash forward a few years later, and now she's practically runs the place. Everything she touches is better because of her. Powers and abilities: a generous spirit that inspires everyone around her. Aww. Aunt May! Miles Morales. Bio. I can't stop replaying the events in my head. If I had just reacted a second earlier, if there was some clue I missed at the construction site, if Jeff would still be alive, and Miles would still have a father. I owe it to Jeff to find some way to help Miles. I didn't know how to do it yet, but I have to honor his father's memory, powers and abilities, and intuitive grasp of science and technology. Hey. Rio Morales. Okay, Rio is so polite to me at the funeral. She's the one hurting, and still she takes the time and tries to make me feel better. She deserves to be angry at me. I should have saved her husband, and I failed. It'd be so much easier if she knew the truth and hated me for it. Powers and abilities, a love of science that she's passed on to her son. Dang. Silver Sable. Silver Salavanova, aka Silver Sable, is not what pops in your head when you think of a princess. What? But that's what she is. Her father, Ernst, is king of the Eastern European nation of Semikria. Excuse me if I mispronounced that. They're hardly your typical pampered royal family, though Silver's grandfather fought the Nazi occupation personally, leading a resistance that was never defeated. Crazy. After the war, the country's primary resource was trained, hardened soldiers, so he found Sable International, a paramilitary force available in the highest bidder. Silver brought them into the 21st century in both tech and tactics. Nowadays, Sable's international agents come from all over the world, but Silver Sable is still their unquestioned leader and finest soldier. Trained from early childhood by the greatest warriors in the world, she might just be the best pure fighter I've ever seen. Dang, dude. I can understand why Mayor Osborn hired Sable's security to fortify a police department left short-handed by the arrest of all cops on Wilson Fisk's payroll. But the police are there to protect and serve the public. Sable's security is there to serve Osborn, and from what I've seen of Silver, she's not one to exercise restraint. This is Manhattan, not a war zone. I don't think she's a bad person, just hardened by life in her job. But even though I'm not crazy about her methods, I can't deny she's put her life on the line to take down some really bad guys since she's been here. As long as she's running Sable's security, we should be okay, I hope. Powers and abilities, extraordinarily hand-to-hand combatant and martial artist, expert marksman, accomplished gymnast, fluent in multiple languages. And she has an accent. Because there you go. Alright. Lonnie Lincoln, Tombstone. Oh, man. Tombstone. This guy. This freaking guy. I have fought a lot of guys in my days. Guys with mechanized war gigs. Guys with semi-mystical reality-bending powers. Guys with goofy names and goofier costumes. Lots of crazy guys. Guys in goofy costumes. Maybe there should be a villain dressed up as Goofy. And then pretend Goofy is a villain. Even though in the end, he was never really a villain after all. I have never fought a guy like Lonnie Lincoln, aka Tombstone. Most bad guys, you beat them. Throw them in the raft. They get pissed. Talk about how they're gonna take you down next time. Talk about how they're gonna rip you limb from limb. Lonnie? Man, all he does is smile. Every loss is just another great challenge on the horizon. He once told me, right after I handed him over to the police, there's nothing Lonnie loves more than the promise of a great fight, and when the guy is doing the fighting is built like a brick house with impenetrable skin and razor-sharp teeth. Is he a vampire? Is he a fat vampire? Is he a vampire going on my 600-pound life? Maybe. Maybe that's what we should call it. My 600-pound life? Vampire edition. Oh my god. And it doesn't matter which type, whether if it's the olden time vampires, you know, like Dracula and them. Only if they be fat or most of today's Twilight vampires. Which you might as well just call them fairy pyres or something. I don't frickin' know. But I like Twilight, but at the same time, I don't mind making fun of it. Well, let's just say I wish he'd discovered the joy of painting or something. Just anything other than the, what the heck. There's only so many great challenges a spider can take. Powers and abilities. Superhuman strength and enhanced durability. His skin is nearly impenetrable. Skilled at hand-to-hand combat. And proficient with firearms. Decent cook. What do you cook, man? Do you put seasoning on your food? If he's white as ever, I wonder if he seasons his food. You gotta make sure, because you don't want to get food poisoning. Never mind. Dr. Morgan Michaels. Dr. Morgan Michaels, PhD, no less, is Oscorp's top researcher for GR27. There's CRISPR-based genome therapy. And I have to say, for a guy heading such an important project, he's kind of a nobody. I mean, I'm a science nerd, and I've never heard of him. And a search of academic databases only turns up a couple minor mentions. I think I saw a reference in one of his emails to him being Greek. Maybe Michaels is an Americanized name, and he's been published as Micropolius or something. Not that it matters. From what I've seen of his work, he's brilliant. Michaels is specialized in hereditary genetic diseases, finding cures for the incurable. I wish I had more confidence that his discoveries would be the gift to society they should be, but Oscorp traditionally focuses on military contracts. They always seem to find a way to turn plowshares into swords. It's a little weird they're pursuing this line of research at all, but Norman really seems committed to it, so does Michaels. Personally invested even more so than most scientists are with their work. Dang, so you never heard of this guy. I wonder if it's if it is personal for Michaels. In his photos, he doesn't look well. Thin, pale, dark circles under his eyes. Could he have had a genetic condition of his own? Okay, I'm getting overly fanciful here. He probably just never sleeps. I know from experience what that's like. Peter! Get your butt to sleep! Good God! The fact that you're not getting sleep yourself? Come on, man. Powers and abilities. Gifted biochemist. No one understands Devil's Breath better than him. AKA, maybe we don't want to understand Devil's Breath, because it smells like cat piss. Alright, we got Mr. Negative. Okay. Bio. Martin Lee has an alter ego. Jonah's been calling him Mr. Negative on his show. Jonah always did have an ear for branding. Mr. Negative is like the inverse of Martin Lee, but with some kind of crazy energy powers. I'd love to know how the energy works, but I'm not ready to die to find out. Understandable, Peter. You don't want to die to figure out all the crap. Real question is, what's happening to Martin Lee? Did he plan the whole attack on City Hall? Or is Mr. Negative some kind of weird alternate personality? What's driving his rage? AKA, what the heck is he doing? What kind of drugs is he on? Powers and abilities. Can generate and control a highly destructive negative energy, able to corrupt people, effectively mind controlling them with just a touch, increased strength and speed, able to give small portions of his powers to his followers. Oh, okay. Okay. God's Vulture. So, okay, so I'm pretty sure the one who's writing the bios and the powers and abilities is probably Peter himself. Congratulations, that's actually pretty clever instead of writing it so formally. I like this. I like the way how the bio is written. I don't know, it's just different with this game. When I first saw that old guy was dressing up in a bird costume and called himself the Vulture bird costume, I had a hard time taking him seriously, but I learned pretty quickly that Adrian Toomes is no ordinary geriatric. He engineered in his flight suit himself and gave me a first-hand lesson that spiders don't do well with altitude. It took me years of failed attempts before I finally took him down, and I'm dreading having to do it over again. The sharp wings on his suit are deadly in a fight, but they also allow Vulture to make a quick getaway, and I can only swing so fast. Sometimes I wish I was bitten by a radioactive wasp, but I guess that Monkeer's already taken. Powers and abilities a gifted mechanical engineer. His flight suit grants him airborne speeds of up to 95 miles per hour and enhanced strength. Able to launch simple, energized, knife-like projectiles from his wingtips. Whoa! Dang, dude. Electro. Okay, of all the villains I've ever fought, Max Dillon might be the one that worries me the most. The story goes that he gained the ability to control electricity after a freak accident transformed him into a human lightning rod. As Electro, Dillon can shoot high voltage at will. Voltage bolts at will. And he's come pretty close to zapping me into a Spidey shish kebab on more than on one occasion. Not shish kebab. Gross. I got lucky the first time we fought. He would have killed me if he didn't burn himself out with his own electrical current. He was still getting used to controlling his powers then. If he ever taps into their true potential, I'm not sure even the Avengers could stop him. Oh, that's a good question. Will the Avengers be able to stop him? Powers and abilities. A living electrical compactor capable of generalizing electrostatic energy of roughly 1,000 volts per minute. Able to store upwards of 1 million volts. Christ! And can discharge stored energy in the form of lightning blasts, capable of traveling at high speeds. Yep. Alrighty. Elisiki Shishafik. Don't call him Rhino unless you're prepared to have your bones crushed. Elisiki Alexi clearly loves the power of his experimental combat suit gave him, but hates the way it makes him an easy target for ridicule. Okay, talk about a trigger warning. Eliski would be hard enough to fight without a suit. Oh my god. But with it, he's like some unholy combination of a tank, a battering ram, and 18 gallons of Russian vodka. Dang. Okay, and I'm sorry I'm mispronouncing the name. Even with my accelerated healing, it took me a couple of weeks to recover the first time I brought him down. And that was after he demolished 6 cities blocks. I'm not looking forward to the rematch. You never did. Powers and abilities, superhuman strength, and nearly impervious to harm thanks to his mech suit. Resistant to extreme temperatures, shock, and explosive damage. Resistant to most solutions. Alright. Scorpion. Mac Gargan used to be a run-of-the-mill street criminal and not an especially good one. That was before he signed up for the untested procedure to fuse a human body with a mechanical combat suit. The process made Gargan stronger and faster than naturally possible, but also jacked up his rage and aggression. I bet after what happened, the researchers regretted adding a weaponized tail to the suit on the top of that. Of all, it's not like Mac just wags it when he's happy to see you. It took me a while to develop webbing strong enough to hold him down for even a few seconds. Encounters with Scorpion have left me with more than a few scrapes and bruises, along with much more serious injuries. Don't even want to think about how many more love taps I'll have to endure to get him back behind bars behind bars this time. Powers and abilities. Mentally unstable, enhanced strength, speed, endurance, and agility. Suit claws allow him to scale any surface, while tail can be used as a blunt weapon. His stinger contains a lethal and painful toxin that can't be injected or hurled as a projectile. Now we got one more character we gotta look at so far. Dr. Octopus. Dr. Octavius and I were supposed to change the world. Now the media is calling him Dr. Octopus, and I'm wondering if the city's going to survive his rampage. I tried to warn Doc of the risk of the neural interface posed in his brain, but never in a million years did I imagine he turned into a revenge-obsessed monster. The Otto Octavius I know would never hurt people. He dedicated his life to helping them. I know he's still in there, somewhere, and I'm going to do everything I can to save him. Whoa. Powers and abilities. Mechanized prosthesis grants superhuman strength and durability. Can't scale in nearly any surface. A direct neural connection means the prosthesis responds with the speed of the thought. Whoa. Crazy. Alrighty. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Alrighty. Moves list, DLC. I am now 59% away in the story. Whoa. So yeah. Basic combat. Basic combo, whip strike, and disarm enemy, whip throw. I got a lot of new moves that I added because I upgraded it, but I'm probably going to add more to that very shortly. Okay. Research tokens. 1. Landmark tokens. No, these are resources. Landmark tokens. 1. Base tokens. 0. Crime tokens. 0. Challenge tokens. 2. Backpack tokens. 2. And a lot of this stuff. Okay. Missions. Paxton Bell and Greenwich. Ooh. Oh, mission overview. I didn't even know this was, you could do this. Dr. Octavius was my greatest hero. Now, he's something else entirely. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna continue with the adding to the skills. And then after that, once I'm done with that, then I will end the episode. And the next episode, we're getting really close. Spin cycle. When throwing an enemy rapidly, press triangle during the throw to continue spinning enemies. Scare tactics, stealth takedowns generate much more focus. Ha! Rifle, shield, and launch yank. Hold triangle to yank heavy arms like rifles, launchers, and shields away from enemies. Okay, the defender. Improve focus gain and higher combo counts. Last stand. Shows time just before you take a fatal hit. Giving you one last chance to dodge. Can only be used once per combat encounter. Ground strike. After leaping off an enemy or from air combat, press XN square to smash the ground with explosive force. Awesome. Air yank. Hold triangle while in the air to yank enemies upward. Enable combat moves. Dang, okay. I like this. And I will take this. Take this. Yang can throw a whole triangle to hurt yanked weapons back at enemies with concussive force. Next time we get in concussions. Rocket return. To throw rockets back at enemies. Vengeance. When below half health, attacks generate force faster. Oh. Epicenter. Ground strike has a large blast that can knock enemies down when used from the higher elevations. And then this. Bunk Buster. Swing kick will now knock over shield enemies. And then air launch attacks knock back nearby enemies. Has a short recharge time between uses. Alrighty, so I think actually I will take this as well. Wrecking Ball. I came like a wrecking ball. Wrecking Ball. Brute enemies can be grabbed and thrown when webbed, affecting enemies over wide areas. I like this a lot. Okay. Collateral damage. Thrown objects damage all nearby enemies. Ooh, so this is what I can do for now. Alrighty. So now I am a legit upgraded. Woo! Now I can do crazy stuff now. So, I am going to go ahead and end the episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys!